Right team, I'm back for our Tuesday video. That would make sense if you watched the Monday video. The workout today is split into 3 sections. It's similar to one we did a couple of weeks ago, and there's a different time format for each section. So just be wary of that going into the start of the workout. So the first part is every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. So you've got 5 rounds. First minute you're going to do a Turkish Getup on each arm. I'll show you what they are if you don't know. And then the second minute you're going to do 10 essentially jumps. Could be a box jump, could be a broad jump, whatever you fancy really with that. Once you've done 10 minutes of that, or 5 rounds of that, you're going to do a 2-minute rest. You're going to have a 2-minute rest. And then the second part is an 8-minute AMRAP. So if you've got one big running clock going, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then you're going to go for an AMRAP until 20 minutes. Within that one round is 20 weighted step-ups, so 10 on each leg, and 20 single leg V-sits, and that's also 10 on each leg. So we just want you to go back and forth between those two as many times as you can within that 8-minute window, which will be from 12 until 20. You've then got another 2-minute rest in there, feeling generous. And then the final part is just 3 rounds as fast as you can, get it done. Within that, 1 round is a Turkish Getup on each arm again, it's the same as what you did back here. Again, another 10 jumps, could be a box jump, could be a broad jump. And then you've also got new exercises, 20 goblet reverse lunges, 10 on each leg, and 20 sit-ups. Okay, so you'll go 3 times through that, and that's you finished. You just get through that as quick as you can. So you'll be starting that on 22 minutes. So like I say, there is a bit of variation with the timing in there, so just make sure you're clear before you start on what you're doing time-wise. So I would just have one big running clock going the whole time, just to keep track of everything in there. Just to run through the exercises that are in there, you've got the Turkish Get-Ups, which is something we've not done a massive deal of, but we do in the classes sometimes. So your Turkish Get-Up can be broken down into a few segments, which I'm going to show you now. What I would say with weight is that if you've not done them before, you might find them quite challenging, and if you are limited at all in terms of upper body strength or flexibility, you might also find them quite challenging. So if you need to, do them weighted with household objects and stuff like that. You could do them with a shoe in your hand, you could do them with a bag of flour. It doesn't necessarily have to be a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a specific weight in that sense. It could just be something to add a little bit of resistance. And obviously if you're really struggling, don't do them with any weight, just do them without and just practice the movement and the technique. So for a Turkish Getter, to give you a quick sort of overview on them, we're going to be looking for you to start on the floor like this, way up in front of you, and the knee bent on the same side as the arm with the weights in. The first part is going to be me trying to get up onto my left elbow. So I'm going to be going from here, pushing over onto this left side, so I get into that position. From there I'm trying to get up onto a straight arm, and then I'm pushing up into this sort of cross position here. To make it a bit easier, then the knee can come in, so I'm still in a cross position, and then it should start to look a bit like the bottom of a lunge. So you're back up to standing, and then when you want to come back down, you just reverse the whole process. And it's important as you go down through, you keep control, and you try and go through all the same positions that you went through on the way up, going to the start of the rep. So then I finish here, and I carefully bring down, change hands, and go again. So that's your full sequence there. The main thing which we're working with is your sort of shoulder stability. So we always want to make sure when you're doing those reps that the weight, whatever it might be, dumbbell, kettlebell, flour bag, stays above your shoulder as much as you can. That'll make it much, much easier. So if I'm set up like this, and I step back into my lunge and I do that, it's going to make it loads harder, whereas if the weight stays there, that'll be much easier. Again, in this position here, the weight's above me, brilliant. If the weight's there, much more difficult. So it's about having that control as I go through each section. So again, the weight is above me to make it as easy as possible to do the rep essentially. So it's partially your technique, but then also you will notice a difference depending on how strong you are or how flexible your shoulders are. If you've not got loads of flexibility, you might find it difficult to actually get into the positions you need to in the first place. So there's lots of options with scaling there. In terms of the jumps in here, I mentioned they could be any variety. I think that'll depend on the space you've got and the equipment you've got. Obviously, if you don't have a box or something safe to jump on, then I would either just do a vertical jump where you just jump up in the air, or you could do a broad jump where you jump forward. So they're a bit simpler, you don't need any equipment for them. Your step-ups, ideally we want them weighted. Convenient box I prepared earlier. In terms of where you can hold the weight, could be here, could be weight by the side, could be your front rack, could even be overhead if you want. And we're just looking for you to drive up off the standing leg. You can keep your front leg off the box, and I'm just pushing off this standing leg. But I'm really trying to emphasise that it's this leg that I'm pushing off, and I'm not bending and pushing off the leg on the floor as well. Okay? Step ups. Single leg V-sits. Again, we've done these in the classes quite a few times. The main thing we want to see on these is that you're getting into a good tuck position at the top. So as I'm coming up into my top position, I'm trying to get my stomach and my thighs close together as I can. So it's not just that I'm throwing them up, and it's also not leg comes really high and shoulders come like that, or shoulders come really high and leg doesn't really move. We're trying to get you up into that sort of V shape, hence the name, V-sit. If you want to scale them, you could do a single leg tuck up. So same idea, but leg stays bent, or you could go for a tuck up with two legs, or you could just do a sit-up as well, which is the same as what you're doing in the rounds for time at the end. Remember, any of those variations, we're looking for that tucking movement. So we're looking to try and use your abs to bring you up into that top position, so it's not just throwing my shoulders forwards. The only new exercise I'm going to hit will be the goblet reverse lunges. So that'll be you set up with your weight either like this or like this, and you're just stepping back into the lunge like that. Same as normal, trying to keep you nice and upright, and trying to keep you stable as you do them so you're not wobbling around too much. So that's sort of run through there, but I say specifically if you want more help with the Turkish Get-Ups, get in touch with me or one of the other coaches and we can sort of help you out with that a little bit. See what I've gone over there, you can use that as your model to try and follow if you like, so you know what you're aiming for. In terms of a warm-up, here's one I conveniently prepared earlier. So I've put shoulder swings and reverse lunges in there. So your shoulder swings can be across the front like that, could be big ones going backwards like that. Looking for 20 of them, and then just 10 bodyweight reverse lunges, which is 5 to each side. Then we get into what I've called the Turkish Getup, because I don't really know what it's called. You're going to be set up with whatever you're planning on using for the Turkish Getup. You start in that start position, leg bent on the same side as the arm is straight, and all I'm trying to see is can I get up onto my elbow? So I'm trying to see, can I use my abs, push this leg down into the floor and get up into this position, then I come back down, up into this position, and I'm making sure that this left leg here is not lifting as I'm coming off. I'm seeing, can I keep it on the floor as I come up into this first position? And your 10 will be 5 on each side. Once you've done that, just to warm the shoulders up a little bit more, the thoracic rotations that I've written in there, it's just going to be you in a kneeling position like this. You're going to reach as far as you can that way, and then as far as you can that way. So we're looking to try and rotate as much as you can in either direction, and then the last step is the Turkish Get-Up, so 6 is 3 on each side. Don't be in a rush with them, just take your time with them and sort of work through them step by step. And like I said at the start, if you need to, you could do more than that to practice. I've given you that sort of demo section at the start of this, where you can see what the Turkish Get-Up should look like. Just practice it step by step until you know what you're aiming for, and you think you can do one each round without necessarily having to like watch a reference video or whatever. I would say that with the Turkish Get-Ups in the every minute on the minute section at the start, don't rush them too much, and don't worry if you're not getting loads of rest going into the next section. Like you're probably not going to be really gassed by that, and you'll almost definitely get loads of rest after the jumps. It's not going to take you probably more than 30 seconds to do those jumps, so you will get rest then going into the Turkish Get-Ups. But you'll probably find that if you rush through them, try and do them really quickly, they'll actually probably feel harder than if you did them a bit slower. Like I say, if you want more specific help than that, remember you can get in touch with me or any of the coaches, and we can help you out with whatever you need. Otherwise, enjoy the workout, and hopefully I will see some of you on Zoom on Tuesday night.